one confident snipee. The cut looks clean, but days later, the plant begins dying. Something invisible entered that wound and the blade carried it to every other plant in the garden. A hidden disaster, already in motion. Gardeners often treat pruning as simple garden housekeeping, a weekend chore to tidy up overgrown branches. But to a plant, every single cut is a major surgical event. The moment steel slices through stem, it tears open the protective outer bark, exposing raw, living tissue to the open air. This fresh wound remains completely defenseless, forming a direct highway into the plant's vascular system. Out in the open air, the garden environment is never truly sterile. Microscopic threats already drift through the breeze and cling to nearby leaves, waiting for the exact moment a defense drops. The primary vector for these microscopic invaders is the very tool designed to keep them healthy, your pruning shears. When a blade slices through an infected branch, it collects a microscopic cocktail of plant pathogens. Diseases like botrytis grey mold, devastating fire blight, and highly infectious mosaic viruses cling to the steel. The next cut you make on a healthy plant injects these pathogens directly into the open wound. One single contaminated cut can expose every single plant you touch during a weekend pruning session. Fortunately, stopping this invisible transmission chain is incredibly simple. All it takes is a reliable hygiene routine. Before moving from one plant to the next, wipe or dip your blades in 70% isopropyl alcohol, or submerge them in a 10% bleach solution. This quick 30-second step destroys more than 99% of viable bacteria, fungi, and viruses. By making this simple dip and wipe routine an automatic habit, between every plant, you convert your shears from a hidden hazard into a shield of protection. Even with sterile blades, a perfectly clean cut can still sabotage a garden if it happens at the wrong time of year. Many gardeners prune in late autumn or winter, believing they are helping plants rest, but this winter haircut can silently destroy next year's flowers. Spring flowering shrubs like lilacs, forsythia, and azaleas form their delicate flower buds during the previous late summer and autumn. Cutting these branches during winter removes the sleeping buds before they ever have a chance to open. To save these blossoms, always prune spring bloomers immediately after their current flowers fade. Conversely, summer blooming plants, like butterfly bush and smooth hydrangeas, grow their buds on new spring growth, meaning they need their trim in early spring to encourage abundant, fresh flowers. Even when your tools are perfectly sterile and your timing are right, there is a strict biological limit to how much you can cut. Horticulturists call this the 1/3 rule. You must never remove more than 1/3 of a plant's total foliage in a single session. Breaking this threshold triggers an immediate survival panic. When a plant loses too much canopy, its primary carbon-producing factory is suddenly gone. In response, the plant shifts all its stored energy away from root development and pours it into desperate emergency regrowth. But this rapid replacement growth is physiologically flawed. It is soft, watery, and lacks the structural strength of mature wood, making it highly susceptible to early frost damage. Even worse, this tender, nutrient-rich new growth attracts destructive pests, inviting massive colonies of aphids and spider mites that easily pierce the weak cell walls. If you're finding these insights helpful, take a moment to subscribe so we can continue exploring the hidden science of your garden together. The physical execution of the cut determines how the plant recovers. Clean, sharp blades slice smoothly through the cambium layer, creating a precise, minimal wound that heals rapidly. Dull, blunt blades crush these delicate plant tissues instead, tearing cell walls and leaving jagged, oversized wounds that struggle to close. To make a perfect cut, locate an outward-facing bud. Position your shears just above this bud, angling the blade at 45 degrees away from it. This specific angle prevents pooling rainwater from collecting on the fresh wound, allowing moisture to shed harmlessly away from the plant. One simple preparation transforms pruning from a risk into the greatest gift you can give your plants. Large pruning wounds on woody plants require a highly selective approach. Thick branches on fruit trees or old canes on garden roses leave behind wide, open surfaces that remain vulnerable for weeks. In these specific cases, a thin layer of pruning paste or wax provides a protective shield. This temporary seal keeps wood-boring insects and dampness out while the plant completes its natural healing process. Applying wax is not a routine requirement for every minor trim, but a targeted defense reserved strictly for significant cuts that need extra time to close. One simple preparation transforms pruning from a risk into the greatest gift you can give your plants. Subscribe for more garden insights.